Welcome to this deep dive. We're jumping straight into your source material today,
Yeah, we are.
looking at a really, unique perspective on the Urim Thummim.
Absolutely. It's framed by the research and notes you mentioned from Dallas James.
So our mission today really is to unpack this specific view.
Mm-hmm.
How this research identifies the Urim Thummim, its history, its role in prophecy.
And some pretty surprising modern connections, too. We'll get into those.
And right off the bat, it challenges common ideas, doesn't it?
It really does. Forget thinking of Urim and Thummim as two separate things.
This view says it's one single object.
Exactly. A singular, divinely made artifact. And get this, it's explicitly identified as the Holy Grail.
Okay, wow. So let's dig into that. How does the source actually describe it physically?
It's quite specific. It's presented as one thing, a flat, oval stone, red-banded jasper, roughly maybe 2.5 by 3 centimeters, set on a gold base, 12-karat gold.
And the base has engravings.
Yes. Significant symbols.
Yeah.
A lion, a serpent, the tree of life. And the stone itself, it's mentioned as having 7 engraved eyes.
7 eyes.
Yeah, like sapphires or other gems within the lion symbol. They're even said to flash. And even the natural layers in the stone, the strata, apparently show the number 7.
That's very detailed.
Yeah.
But what about its origin? That seems key to this framework.
Hugely important. It's not seen as man-made at all.
Right.
The research points to passages like Daniel 2.34, interpreted as cut out without hands.
Okay.
And Zechariah 3.9, which in this specific Urim Thummim version translation the source uses, as God saying, I will engrave the engraving of it.
So the idea is it's a direct divine creation.
Tangible.
Precisely. A manifestation of God's creative power. And its name, Urim Thummim, is understood here to mean perfect light or perfect illumination.
Meaning infallible communication.
Yes, unerrable revelation. The argument is, because it provides perfect, complete light, it logically has to be a single source, not two. It resolved that perceived duality. Okay, that clarifies the one object idea. Now back to the Holy Grail connection you mentioned. How does the source justify that claim?
Well, it draws direct parallels.
Yeah.
The physical description we just talked about, the stone, the metal base, the tree symbol, these are linked to elements found in certain Grail legends. The research even cites some external works that supposedly connect the Grail tradition back to the Jewish Urim Thummim.
Interesting. Okay, so shifting from what it is to its role in prophecy, there's this concept of the hidden thing.
Right. This is central. It comes from retranslating the Greek word usually rendered as mystery.
Like in Colossians.
Exactly. In the UTV translation used in the source, Colossians 1.26-7 apparently says this hidden thing, which is identified as the Urim Thummim,
Okay.
was concealed but now is exposed to view for his saints.
So the unveiling of this object is tied directly to understanding the mystery of Christ.
That's the argument, that the gospel message, in a sense, has been incomplete without this artifact being revealed in these latter days.
Which leads us to Malachi, right? The special treasure.
Yeah, Malachi 3.17. While it doesn't explicitly name the Urim Thummim, this research strongly implies that God's special treasure, or jewels, is this artifact.
Because Malachi is about last days events.
Exactly. And the source sees the UT's reappearance as a latter-day event. The timing fits.
And the description. The source calls the UT a treasure of great price, divinely made, from paradise itself.
Which sounds a lot like God's unique special treasure, doesn't it?
It does seem to fit. And there's more in Malachi.
Well, Malachi 3.1 mentions the messenger, Elijah, preparing the way. And this source says Elijah will restore all things.
Including the Urim Thummim.
Right. So it connects the artifact directly to that whole restoration process Malachi talks about for the end times.
Okay, now for those modern connections you hinted at, the gold base.
Yes, the 12-karat gold. Apparently, an appraisal couldn't initially pin down its origin standard.
Which is unusual.
A bit, yeah. But then the research found that Bislig was a historical term for 12-karat gold, specifically in the pre-colonial Philippines.
The Philippines, how does that connect?
Okay, so this links to the author's belief, presented in the source, that the Garden of Eden was actually located in the Philippines.
Okay. So the logic is, if Eden was there,
Then the gold for the Urim Thummim, being from paradise itself, would match a historical gold standard from that specific region.
and the source presents this as more than coincidence.
Yes, it mentions, as what's termed a prophetic confirmation, that the author's wife's hometown is Bislig City. This is presented as a kind of personal, divinely arranged clue.
Quite a specific interpretation.
And there's another layer. The meaning of the word Bislig itself, hardened or petrified, is seen in the source as fitting the stone nature of the Urim Thummim. It's all woven together.
Okay, let's try to recap this. We've gone through quite a bit. This deep dive into your sources shows the Urim Thummim through this particular lens as one single thing.
A divine artifact, explicitly linked to the Holy Grail.
Central to this idea of a hidden thing tied to the mystery of Christ.
And implicitly connected to Malachi's end-time special treasure.
And even having this, well, unexpected potential clue in the Philippine origin of its gold based on the source's interpretation.
Right. So why does this matter to you, the listener? Well, this framework offers a very distinct, maybe challenging way to look at familiar biblical ideas.
Suggesting layers of meaning that, according to this view, have been sort of concealed until now.
It positions the Urim Thummim not just as an ancient relic, but as an active, tangible player in revelation past and future.
So it leaves you with a final thought, perhaps. What might it mean if divine wisdom, if prophetic clues aren't just in ancient texts?
What if they could also be, embedded in the physical world? Maybe even waiting for specific times or specific circumstances, perhaps even personal ones, to be fully understood.